Hello Aquarius, and welcome to your March 2023 reading. So let's get into it. I'm adding one more deck to the monthly readings just as an experiment. This is a collective reading for Aquarius, sun or rising signs. You can watch for moon, but I recommend sun or rising primarily. And we're going to look at how, even though this is a collective reading, like how can we maybe get a little bit more insight into which particular area of life this is coming through in, or what the major themes are. So we have showing up for you the moon. So hopefully this will help to, because it can be so generalized, like help to kind of maybe more focus the information that's coming through, without getting a personal one-to-one reading. This is just something that I'm experimenting with and I'm kind of digging it so far. So let me know how you like it in the comments, or you can also always message me. So we're going to take a look at also what is coming through for my Aquarians for the month of March, for the beginning, middle, and end of the month. And then we'll also take a look at the challenges, beginning, middle, end of the month. Boom. Gotta go with the cards that you're feeling, right? So, and then let's actually get some information about what's coming up as a challenge for you this month. I'm loving all the cups. So I felt that card really pop through. Interesting. That was the one that popped through before. And your spiritual advice. I was almost feeling that card, but wasn't. So spiritual advice. Actually, feeling this one right here. Dig it. Okay. So let's go through this, start with the moon. So the realm of the moon, obviously the realm of the emotions, like your energetic and emotional state of being, right? The moon can also be related to the maternal figure in our life, right? Like our actual mother, or if you didn't grow up with a mother, then whoever was in that kind of role. And can also have to do with our home space, right? But the emotions in this realm and with the moon generally have more to do with like how we go about nourishing and nurturing our emotions, and also what feels nourishing and nurturing for us. Like how do we need to tend to our emotional realms in order to feel stabilized and to feel secure and safe, right? So that's part of what's coming up, is like these are the themes that are coming up. I find it interesting because of the pentacles that we have coming through, but we definitely have a bunch of water coming through, which I think it definitely relates to that. So we start off the month with the Page of Pentacles, move into the Three of Cups, and then move into the Nine of Cups. So now obviously, because we're talking about an emotional realm and we're not looking at a specific house, this could, like, we could relate this to the fourth house, but I do have fourth house cards. So this is more speaking to something that has to do with that emotional realm. So it could have to do with relationships. It could have to do with familial bonds or friendships, right? So just like our interpersonal relationships and connections. And it can also have to do with anything that has just kind of been bringing up a lot of emotional stuff for us recently. The challenge being the Eight of Wands. I'm actually not feeling like the Eight of Wands, like because it popped out before and it was coming through in this direction and it was upright, kind of feeling like it goes here with your, like, I just kept feeling it and it kept screaming at me. And I was like, no, it wants to be upright in the spiritual advice. It's like, all right, cool. So let's pull one more card for your challenge, because, doesn't really happen with me like this, but I do really pay attention when it feels like it's screaming in my head. So here we go. All right. So there is the challenge card. Now it feels complete. So let's roll with this. Starting out the beginning of the month of March, we have the Page of Pentacles, right? So the Page of Pentacles is definitely about trusting what you see. Like what you see is what you get. So trust what your eyes see, trust what's in front of you, trust what is tangible, right? The world of Pentacles is the earth realm. And so that has to do with what is physical and what is tangible and what can be known, right? And so not known in the kind of air sword sense, but like known in a different way. It's something more tangible, right? So I would say that the Page of Pentacles here is like saying, hey, like you need to trust what it is that you see in front of you, and trust any solutions or opportunities that are here and present, and know that there's more messages or a message coming through with regard to whatever it is that you're dealing with in this realm, right? So it's like basically trust what you see, know that there's another message or more messages on the way. The solution is like right at your fingertips, it's at hand. Like there's a piece of it that's already here, a piece of the puzzle that's already here, and you need to just trust it. This is not a time to listen to people's words. This is a time to trust what you see, right? What is tangible. So I want to make that distinction and make that like super clear. How does this happen? I complain about this every month with you guys. I just need to get a new background. So then we move into the middle of the month and we have the Three of Cups, which I'm really loving. The Three of Cups, the energy is just really beautiful. And even in this card, it feels super Venusian in a way, but I feel like it's just celebratory, and it's good libations, good food. Normally you see three women together like dancing and drinking from their chalices and kind of like skipping in a circle basically. And so this energy definitely feels more celebratory, and I feel like this is about celebrating the abundance in life, like finding a way to connect your emotional space, right? Like what's nourishing, and finding like how you can connect your emotional space to what actually works for your life right now, what feels abundant, what feels good, like what can you celebrate, and not in a cheesy like, oh, what's your affirmation and what are you like grateful for. I know that gratitude journals are proven to be really awesome. It's just that I feel like it's become such a if you're kind of like in your 30s or early 40s, then you might remember like these really cheesy Chicken Soup for the Soul books or whatever. I never read any of them, but it was like very, very cheesy kind of self-helpy type stuff, right? And I think that gratitude and appreciation has been relegated to the realms of like roll your eyes, oh yeah, sure, but there is power in that. So I like to say like find what you can be genuinely appreciative of, find what you can authentically have gratitude for in your life, and expand that. You know, wherever you see and feel abundance, wherever you have moments where you are smiling, take a moment to recognize it, because by focusing on that, that's where your attention can expand those feelings, and you can start to create a greater sense of like of abundance and beauty in your life. And why not? Why wouldn't you want that, right? Don't have resistance to that, and don't be in a space of like, it doesn't look the way that I want it to be. Like I would say that this is a message that's coming through for the middle of the month for you. And then also we come into the end of the month in March, and I think that you're finally getting a little bit of recognition, or actually feeling for your, like whether that is public, whether it comes from the outside, or whether it's internally, you're feeling a sense of achievement, accomplishment, of, you know, maybe even getting some recognition or recognizing yourself. And, you know, hey, like more reason to celebrate, more reason for you to say like, oh yeah, I've done, like pat on the back, I've done a good job, I'm doing a good job, like look at how far I've come. And like just appreciate your own personal achievements, whether they're appreciated outwardly or not. Celebrate them, like really do. So I'm really loving the energy, because like this feels in alignment with a realm of like the realm of emotions. The challenge though that's coming through, and I think this like creates like what is coming up in the next stages, is the Chariot card, right? So, and the Chariot card, when it's in a challenge position, is basically saying like there are places in your life that you need to look to where you're not aligned, where your will and your words and your thoughts and your emotions and your greater, you know, sense of self and purpose are not in alignment. And so you need to look to where those areas are not in alignment, so that you can create the kind of momentum and forward movement. So it doesn't just stop here. It doesn't just stop at like feeling some of the goodness. You can really snowball that and get that rolling to continue to move forward. And so the Chariot card is, you know, when it's in a challenge position, can be speaking of feeling maybe a little bit of stuckness, feeling like maybe you might not be sure which way to go next on your path. And the answer to what is coming next and what to create next and what to focus on next is within where you feel and see that there is an out of alignment that's happening here in the space for you. So check in with yourself and see like, where are you not congruent, and then see where that is and how you can become congruent. Notice what that is, and check yourself and say, okay, well, like, how can I actually step into more congruency? Like, what is the first step? It's not going to happen all at once. I mean, for most people, it doesn't. Like, you don't just snap into alignment, mostly. But so this is looking for, like, where can that happen? How can that happen? And paying attention to that and really making those moves towards that. So your spiritual advice, and I do really feel like this is actually connected to this, is like you're looking to create a foundation of stability, something that is maybe even property related, financially related, right? Because we're looking at the earth suit, like what it is that you value about creating that will stand the test of time and will create a level of stability and safety for yourself, and maybe if you're a parent, for your kids. But just that is going to create that for yourself. And so this is like a theme that's really coming forward, and you're being told to really move towards creating this. And the reason I say you're being told to move towards creating this and really getting in alignment so that you can move towards this is because this is what happens when you're in alignment. You're getting the green light. All lights are green, right? It's all go signs. There are no stop signs. And so this is really rapid and forward movement. So you can really go forward very quickly towards creating what it is that you want. And I think that this is a progression of like moving into more of that possibility and optimism, because when you are in a celebratory place and you feel like more of that recognition, abundance, achievement, appreciation, and all of these kinds of feelings, it can open up more possibility than you actually thought was really present. So when you start to move into those places, we can come into those like upper limit places and start to like see where we think we have boundaries or limitations. And so that often has to do with our own perspective and alignment, right? And so getting into alignment so that you can really shoot forward to create what it is that you're wanting to create in your life, for something that will like really last, that will have a legacy in a way, right? Whether the legacy is literally what you're wanting to create or not, whether it's passed down to other generations because you have kids or you don't, think of that in a broader sense, right? In just like what creating something that will stand the test of time is. So if you want a bigger picture, I would say like check out your, like what just came before this, just before the month of March. You can check out the new moon reading that happened towards the end of February that I have up for your sign, or you can also check out the March 7th full moon reading to get another like kind of the next like kind of picture of what's happening from full moon to the next new moon, right? So you can get like kind of like what's the next step and what's the next step. Otherwise, if you want like specifically what it looks like for you and your life, you can book a reading. The description box down below has all the links for that. So I will see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.